All right, I'm going live. Okay, everybody. Welcome to my first attempt to do this. Those of you who aren't a member of the DBW roster, obviously you don't know who I am. My name's Colt Williams. I'm the head of training for Detroit Battleground Wrestling. And today we're going to be trying something new because obviously we're quarantined. We're going to be doing some basic refresher stuff. Nothing major. Obviously, this is not meant to substitute for in-ring training. Mostly, we're going to be doing some striking, maybe a few stretches and holds, whatnot, things like that. Just to keep the YouTube and Real Police off my ass, let me just start by saying, one, don't try this at home. I am a trained professional wrestler. These are my students. They were trained by me. Two, and more importantly, just so that nobody tries to get me for social distancing, the two gentlemen I am training are trainees of mine who live in my home. So I do not have visitors in my house. They are actually tenants of mine who rent space in my private home, and therefore they are actually living here. So I'm not actually breaking the law. That's my dog. He's not part of training. Pretty soon I'm going to turn the mat sideways here. We're going to be working on this purple mat here. I'm going to try and talk loud enough for everybody to hear. If you can't hear, oh well, I'm sorry. I'm doing the best I can. You know how it works. Do what you can with what you got. And right now I got purple mats and an idea of what I want these guys to work on. And that's about it. So as soon as I can get my guys up and running, we're going to get started. Great. All right, cool. All right. Great. In here. Come on, I'll lock up the dogs. Come on, let's go, buddy. Hey. So my dogs don't like my students. What can I say? Great. Go. Well, go. No rules. Barking. That'll work here, people. All right. So first thing I'm going to do, especially since I'm a big fat guy, I'm going to start with a few stretches. I may change the angle a couple times. I got hip issues, so obviously the first thing I need to do is get my hips loose. So that's going to be this right here. Drake, if you want to fall in on camera and do some stretches too, you can probably do some more impressive stretching than I can. Always want to stretch before you try to train or work. A lot of people don't cover that, including me. But if I don't, the guy in charge of our workout program is probably going to kill me dead in my sleep, or at least he thinks he will. Now, while they're getting ready, we're not going to be doing a lot, obviously. We won't be working any ropes today, as I don't have any. It's going to be basic stuff. Ropes never stop. Yeah, well, we don't talk about that. So they're just going to get ready. You guys want to warm up, doing a few lockups. You got yourself straight. I just got to change one little thing, and I'll be ready to go. I'm going to change your equipment for a service. Shush. All right, so to change into something a little more useful, pajama pants were a little loose, so I decided to actually put my wrestling gear on, or at least my wrestling pants on. So anyways, this is Chris. The other guy's Mike. They're going to be helping me go through this stuff today. This stuff's going to be very low impact, rudimentary. The pads are just here in case somebody falls. We're not actually going to be doing any bumping. This is mostly for the guys that are actually in our school who couldn't be here because, you know, it's against the law now. So what we're essentially going to be going over, one is proper placement and strikes and a few grab and pull holds, you know, work and holds, things like that. If you don't understand the terminology, don't worry. It means you're not a wrestler. We don't really like the non-wrestling public knowing our terminology anyway. There's actually nothing weirder than having a fan walk up and going, I remember when you put Golden Boy over. And it's like, what do you mean I put him over? You mean when we wrestled and he got lucky and beat me? It was a fluke. If I ever see him again, I'll tear his head off. You know, come on, folks. You're wrestling fans. You know what kayfabe means. Now play along and pretend like you don't know what kayfabe means. God. Okay. We're going to be covering something today. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to tilt my camera again so that we can see all these people who are just almost 6 feet tall, but not quite. You don't really see the mats all that much right now. All right, so the first thing we're going to be covering is something I hear a lot of guys talking about, a lot of young guys talk about this. It's extremely important, and we're going to be learning and practicing it today, and that is strong style. Everybody wants to talk about strong style. Here's the problem, though. A lot of people don't get it. Okay, you hear English strong style, you hear American strong style, you hear Japanese strong style. Let me go ahead and break this down for you. Strong style is a Japanese concept. Some people who have studied and trained in Japan and work in England or America may employ strong style, but strong style is a Japanese thing. And here's the weird part. Until the Japanese wrestlers started working in other countries, it wasn't strong style. It was just the Japanese style of wrestling. In Japan, they just hit you harder. And that's all there is to that. Now, do I use strong style myself? No. Do I understand the concepts? Yes. Do I really have a strong style education? No, but I've worked with people strong style, and I do know how to employ it. It's just not something I do myself. So, strong style, in essence, is anybody who's watching this video understands what a working shot is. Drake, in there? So I use forearms because I don't want to throw punches because I have baby hands. So this is a forearm strike. You know, it's just a forearm strike. You know, it's just, I hit him right in the ear, the meaty part of my forearm, and he sells. Now, that's just a regular one. I'm just barely popping him. In strong style, what you do essentially is you really lay it in there. Like, you don't want to hit him in the jaw because you'll break it. Want to hit him in the ear, you'll pop the eardrum. So you're basically hitting him right here in the trap muscle, but you like throw that bitch in like, and it's not a full swing. Okay, it's not a full swing. That's shoot wrestling. And yeah, I've done that. That's how I understand how strong style works. Is when I got started in the business, everybody in the companies I worked for were throwing shoot strikes. Now, if either one of my students want to take a shoot strike, that's fine. I'd be happy to show it to you. But I have to tell you, I don't recommend it. Shoot fighting and strong style are both useful for making it look more passive. The fact of the matter is, the harder you hit the guy, the more real it's going to look. But on that same note, that needs to be a communication and understanding between two guys. If you want to have a strong style or a shoot match, that needs to be something you discuss in the locker room while you're lacing it up. Hey, what do you say we really lay it in tonight, give the crowd a show? And then the guy goes, all right. If you start going strong style on a guy who's not prepared for it, if you start shoot fighting, that's when you basically just become a receipt machine, because he's going to start printing receipts on your ass all day long And you're not going to like it because in the back, he might, beat the crap out of you. So I'm going to have these two take it up now because they need to practice this. Okay. Basically, whatever it is. So we're going to turn you this way so they can see. All right. Now, whatever your strike is, you're going to hit. Basically, I'm using this side. I know you're right-handed. You're going to want to aim between here and here if you're going for a heavier hit. So, like, if you throw punches, not forearms, you might hit them here if you're stage punching, which is fine because that's the meaty part of the back of the head. If you're laying a real one in, you want to stay away from the ear and the jawline because you can break the jaw and you can bust the eardrum. If you bust a dude's eardrum, he's going to get real mad at you. Remember how Perry Saturn beat the crap out of a guy? Dude cracked him in the ear. Okay? Right here, you just lay it in just a little bit harder. Like, if I was going to describe it, a working punch would be you want him to feel it. Okay, so that's a working punch. Strong style, you don't want to hurt the guy, but you want him to understand you're not fucking with it. Okay, so think of it from a real fight perspective. Like, you just giving him one real quick so he understands not to fuck with you. That's about the strength you want to put a strong style hit. So you're going to, okay, Chris, you're going to go first. Working punch. No, it's fine because they're just going to, if you want to flip around, yeah, sure. Going to give him one working punch, one strong style. Right in front of the camera, anytime you're ready. Work it. First the working punch. And give him one strong style. See the difference? How his head snaps and you get a better sound off of it. Now, we're going to let Mike throw one on Chris.
So where am I aiming for?
Okay. Basically, just remember right-hand side. You want to aim anywhere from here, maybe back here for a working punch, but you want to aim for the muscle here, the trapezius muscle. All right? Yeah. Now, you can aim for the back of the head, but here's the thing. The back of the head right here is thick as fuck. Hit that too hard with a strong style punch, you're going to fucking break your knuckles. If you want to break your hand, you go ahead. But it's up to you. Just remember, avoid the jawline, avoid the ear, because you don't want to do permanent damage. And a strong style hit is for real a hit. It's just not everything you got. Yeah. All right, let's see it. Here you go. All right. Here's the thing. Here's the thing, all right? Sorry, step back out of the camera frame for a second. Not too bad. Give me the work. All right. Remember, whatever you're doing, you got to make the crowd believe it. All right? Give me the worker. Oh. 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 Guys landed in there. You have to. And yeah, you got me for good. Real good. You have to make them believe it. If you just turn your head sideways or you stumble a little bit.
I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is whether it doesn't matter if you're selling strong style, you're selling a working punch, you sell it the same. It's the same level salesmanship, but
I kind of felt like you did the strong style first.
Well, it just so happens Mike is a very strong person. He doesn't realize it. So here's the gimmick. Okay, here's the deal. All right, point of the hit one way or the other. You need to sell it. So when they hit you, you gotta snap with it, like he hit you for real. Basically, anybody who's ever been punched in the face for real, act like you just got punched in the face for real. Go ahead, give it another try. There you go. There you go. Good job. Good job, boys. Good job. Okay, so that's the basic idea. Now, that particular exchange was a lot more for their benefit than yours. But because the thing is that in order to understand whether or not you ever want to work strong style, you have to take one. So, since Drake took the first one, I'm going to give this guy one real quick. Don't worry, Drake. Don't worry. See how it hurts a little bit? It's just a little bit extra. You just put a little more on it. Now, that's not as stiff as it could be, obviously, because I am left-handed. I basically don't use the right side of my body for anything except stabilization. Okay, here's another one. This one's going to be important because this one covers what you're supposed to do when you're taking or receiving a maneuver as opposed to giving it. We run into this problem a lot, especially with younger guys, especially with untrained guys. The placement of your body is mostly up to you, all right? You need to understand and know who you're working with, what they're going to be doing, so when they call the spot. Now, the power bomb spot is very difficult to do if you do it wrong, all right? A lot of people in and out of the independent scene don't understand the difference, okay? A gut wrench power bomb has a different leg placement and setup than, say, a sit-out power bomb or a standing power bomb or even a fucking layout power bomb or whatever. Now, we're not going to do the lifting specifically, but a setup for a power bomb would go something like this. I get him in my position. I lock that bad boy in. Now, if I were going for a gut wrench, which would be from here, he would keep his legs straight. As soon as I lifted him off the ground, he'd bring them some bitches together because I'm throwing him straight up over that one shoulder and dropping him straight down. But for a standard power bomb, you're not taking them to the shoulder. You're putting them on your chest. So once you do the pull-up, what this guy needs to do, your feet shoulder width apart. As soon as your thighs hit his shoulders, you got to sit up. Now that's for a standing power bomb. That's a move that I use personally. You got to get him up there. He's got to be sitting straight up. The reason for this is one of two things. One, if it's not time to go home and the power bomb is your finisher, that is the best position to be in to look him straight in the eye without the opponent being able to hear you and say, reverse it. Because then all he has to do is just start hitting you on top of the head. And then he can fucking hit you with the Hurricane Rana, which is what something like Mike would do if I put him up in the power bomb and I say reverse it. He'd probably strike me on top of the head a few times, lock his legs, throw himself backwards. I do the front bump, and boom, he reverses the power bomb into a Hurricane Rana. Whereas he would most likely hit me in the side of the head a couple times, kick his legs off, turn around, drop the stunner on me. Now, these things are important, okay? Because here's the thing. If I hook you up, boom, I get you up like this with a power bomb. Your leg swings over this way and sits on my shoulder. Now, I've put all that momentum to get you up, thinking my chest is going to stop you. And now you're on the side, and here you go right over my fucking shoulder. Now, if I have the physical strength, I have to hold on to you by your fucking waistline and hold you in position, center you properly so that I can drop you down safely, or I have to let you go, box the move, turn around and punch you in the face. That way I can set it up again. So, it's important to understand placement for everything. Now, obviously, because I have low ceilings, I can't do lifts, but I can show you the setups. All right? We go for the suplex setup. Any suplex you do, the suplex, the snap suplex, the brain buster, the fucking jackhammer, the final end, whatever it is, even the fucking orange crush pin, always the same setup. Hook here. Now, there is a debate onto whether or not you work from the left or the right. That's literally dependent on who you came up with. Because believe it or not, WCW always worked from the left. If you ever watch Ric Flair's right-handed, but he always hooks from the left. WWE always made you hook from the right. This is DBW. I'm the one who sets the tone. If you're right-handed, hook right. If you're left-handed, hook left. If you want to be a wrestler in this company, learn to work both sides of the coin. I'm going to take the arm. It's inside my chest line here. I'm going to put it smooth back over my head, the elbow. What this is doing is cradling both of us, because everybody knows first thing you do in wrestling, learn how to do after you learn how to bump, tuck your fucking head. Keep your head off the canvas. All right? His arm's going to keep my head from hitting. My arm's going to keep his head from hitting. That's what you want. Now, turn this way a little bit. Put your hand flat on my thigh. Thumb out. This is how it should look. All right? Because here's what he's going to do. When I go to lift, which I will not be doing because we have a short ceiling and he's almost 6 feet tall, I will pull here. Or if you're going for the snap pushover, grab the front of his tights. But you're going to grab that side there and you're going to lift. As you lift, he's going to push off of my leg. He's going to keep his hand right there. Why? Because he's going to hold his own body weight in a straight line up and down, using this to steady himself, and I'm going to be holding his body balanced. He's going to be doing this to mitigate the weight. And then, obviously, once that's ready, he'll let go for the bump once he feels us start to go this way. He'll have approximately 1.5 to 2 seconds from the time I tip backwards to prepare himself, hit the bump, attack the mat, whatever he needs to do to mitigate his own hit. And then, of course, my neck is protected by his arm. His neck is protected by my arm. And that's a proper setup for a suplex. Sometimes these little things will go unnoticed. Sometimes they don't. But here's the thing. With every little thing that we think about and we practice, the little thing, make sure you push your hand here. You do the same thing with a hip toss. When I go for the hip toss, my arm's here. As he flips over, he's going to push off my leg to give him that oomph. Same thing. He's going to post on my leg and flip himself over. Everything has the little bits to it. All right. My training partner is in here in the chat room asking to see reversals. We can do that. All right. Maneuver reversals. Some are easy. You hit the guy, he fucking lets you go. Some, a little more difficult. All right. Got the match, gentlemen? I'm going to walk you through them. All right, here's what we're going to do, all right? Lock up. All right. Now, very slowly, don't jog for position. Just lock up. Keep it tight. We're going to rotate this way. Rotate. Rotate. Good. Now, from here, he's got options. As anybody who knows the wrestling business understands, he's got options. A little guy, he can try and get inside of his guard, try to hit the arm, pull a leg, do a fucking trip, whatever. The bigger guy, he can try and drive the little guy to his knees, push him back off of his balance into the ropes, whatever he wants to do. But since we're going to work on reversals today, we're going to work on this reversal. All right, now, we're going to walk through this step by step. You're going to take this hand right here. You're going to take this. You're going to slide that sumbitch right down on top of that. And then you're going to tilt. Now, hold on to him. Do not let this arm go, okay? Remember, he's not going to let you go on purpose. Okay. So everything you do has to look like you made him go your way. And slide that in elbow to elbow. Drop this hand down. Come straight up underneath him. Boom. Hammer lock. Tilt. Turn this way. Boom. Smooth into the hammer lock. Smooth transition. Smooth transition. Now, Mike, smaller guy. Oh, keep your fucking hammer lock on. We're doing a reversal. He has to reverse it, doesn't he? Yeah. All right. Mike's a smaller guy.
Oh, I don't know.
Is he going to just force his arm down? No, because Chris couldn't do that to Mike if he tried. He's got his arm bent in a way that you can't power out of unless you're like fucking, Brock might be able to power out of this. So what does he do? He's got a couple of options. One, he can go the dirty route. He can look for that ear. See that? There's a little crevice right behind the ear. To what you're pretending to shoot for when you throw elbows. Don't hit it for real, otherwise your opponent gets all dizzy in the brain pan. Once again, you're gonna aim for that fucking trapezius muscle. You look for him, boom, 1, boom, 2, and then you can just break free because you'll bust him up. Now, from here, okay? So, stage him 1, 2, 1, 2. Now stop. 3. Now, all right, now. Don't let this one go. Push yourself down. Basically, step out. Up from behind it. Nope. You gotta follow what I'm doing now. Okay? Now up. All right, now. Down. Basically, we're going to bring that one down because you've heard them. See how you hit that side so this arm goes a little weak? Tilt yourself down. Basically, step out from underneath your own arm. Then, Patal, look at that. Reversals of fortune, wouldn't you know it? Smooch. Bend those knees. Yes, bend the knees. Remember, You're not powering straight out. You're coming out from underneath your own arm. So you're basically ducking under your own arm. Just think of it like a limbo, okay? Lock in so you can try it on somebody who can hold the move. Extra special. Okay, now here. Under. Inside. You step inside. So I've got you like this, so you're going to come down and under. Step out from underneath yourself. That's the thing. You're not trying to get under him. You're trying to get under you. Because from there, once you get out from underneath it, like literally, it's a good thing to work on with bigger guys, especially if you're trying to wear your opponent down in a work. Guys my size, guys Eddie's size are a little taller, a little bulkier, a lot harder to slip out from underneath our own arms. We don't have that flexibility like smaller guys do. Our bones are surrounded by a lot more muscle structure, so we can't bend it all the way around like you guys can. So it's a good thing to work on for cruiserweights to work the joints. Our joints are less flexible. Yeah, what else we got here? Thanks. All right. Reversal. This one's easy. Pow. All right, Mike. This time, you're just going to slide this arm right over the back of his neck, snap him straight into that fucking... All right. Tilt it this way. Spin, spin, spin. All right, now, first of all, legs are in the wrong position. Put that left leg back. Dump it. Okay? You want to put this leg back. Always this one. All right. Basically, you're holding them down. You put it the other way, you throw yourself off balance. Literally, this is a rule they teach in school. Switch your legs out. If your opponent, put this one back like you're bracing off of it. Put your leg back. First thing he's going to do, you just gave him a present. He's going to hook his leg and hand right under that motherfucker right there, and he's just going to pick you up and dump you on your ass. That fast. Literally, they teach you to do that in school. It's sort of like a penalty for it's a penalty with smaller wrestlers. You slap the fucking headlock in the wrong way, and the guy sees it, he immediately grabs you and dumps you on your fucking head. That's how you learn to put the correct leg back. Like I work left-handed headlocks. My left leg's back between your legs. See, now you can't get momentum on me. If I go this way, I'm off balance. You could just reach down with that leg. If you can lift me, which I know you can, go underneath it like you were picking me up, cradle me right up backwards into a fucking backdrop, no problem. So once you do get it in, because usually you'll go straight from here and you'll go in like this, and you watch the guys do it. The legs left leg forward, right? They'll immediately switch their legs. And you crank. Now, how does he get out of something this heavy? Because obviously I outweigh him by quite a few. In fact, I outweigh him by over 100 pounds. How does he do it? Real simple. Here's the thing about wrestling. It's kind of like whose line is it anyway? The subjects are made up and the rules don't matter. Okay, he's got to loosen my arm somehow, right? He's not just going to reach up and wrench my arms down. I'm fucking twice his size. What's he do? Hit me in the kidney. And then grab my arm once you've weakened me, and you can pull me straight in. Boom! There you go. It's that quick. You only got to get loose enough to pull your head out. That's all you got to do. Forearm to the kidneys. Punch them in the back. Reach up, grab their hair, and pull them out of their own maneuver. Whatever you can do. What's important is that you think. In and out of the ring. Use your brain. Before you plan the match, while you're executing a maneuver. One of the most important things you can do, and I'm sure Donnie will agree with me. So, 3 or 4 people. 3 people. I'm sure Donnie will agree with me. The best thing you can do if you realize a move isn't going to work, fucking change it on the spot. Okay? If you realize, if you've planned it out amongst yourselves, you're like, all right, we're going to do a suplex spot. And then maybe you hurt your knee or you misjudge your opponent's weight or whatever. You realize as you're fighting him, this fucking suplex spot isn't going to fucking work. Because I'm not strong enough to get him up or my leg hurts or whatever. Don't just try to get your shit in. Yes, I did that on purpose. I'm being condescending. I'm a wrestling trainer. What do you expect? Don't just try to get your shit in. Here's the thing, all right? Let's just say, for the sake of argument, oh, I got him in the suplex position, and oh, God, my back hurts real bad. Okay, there's no way I'm getting this motherfucker for the suplex. What do? I go, hit to the suplex. Whisper it to him. He's right here. His ear's right there. Head to the suplex. Swinging neck breaker. And then you swing the neck breaker. Or head to the suplex. Punch me in the stomach. Reverse. Boom. And then maybe he suplexes me. And then when he picks me up, I reverse it. All right. See. That's going to be super important. Super duper important. If you realize in the middle of the match something's not working, talk to your opponent. If you're too far away from your opponent, tell the referee. Tell him to come get me. Tell him to come get me either means he's too far away for the spot you guys have planned, or I need to fucking talk to this dude. There are so many places where you can have a conversation. You can have a conversation from a suplex position. Lay down. Wait, on your back. Back up. Need to talk something through? He's on the ground. Mountain punch. I'm gonna pick you up. Punch me in the duck. No, I'm walking into a spot. I'll pick you up. Punch me in the stomach. And then double clothesline. Take my clothesline. And then boom. And that's easy. And then I pick him up. He punches me in the gut. Shoots me in for the clothesline. I duck it, bounce off the ropes, hit him with my clothesline, boom. And the whole time, to everybody out there in the fucking cheap seats, or anybody who doesn't have a super powerful hearing aid, all I did was tell him to go F himself. Ta-da! I dropped an F-bomb, didn't I? Oh, this is going to get demonetized. Talking. Nothing's more important than talking. You can talk from the back. You can talk from the front. You can sit on his back, pick his head up, hit him on the side of the head. Suplex spot. And he goes, oh, okay. You can talk from a clench. You can lock up. You can grab him by the hair. Just, what is your problem? Throw him in the corner, smack him around. What's your problem? Stay down, bitch. Powerbomb spot. I'll kill you. And then he fucking pushes me, kicks me in the stomach, hits me with a powerbomb. Whatever. The best way to mask talking to your opponent is to do it while something else is happening. Either this guy plays to the crowd, this guy tells the referee the next move. Or you hit them, and the sound of the punches makes them hear punches and you screaming when under your breath you're whispering, we're going for the Hurricane Rana spot. You can do it from a clench, from the lockup, straight from the lockup. The first move, you should be communicating right there and then. Like as soon as you lock up in the ring, like ding, ding, time to go. Boom. Okay. Let's do the international. And you start from there. Or, let's do chain or whatever. And usually if you're super athletic guys, those guys who throw each other around, do the fucking cartwheel out of it like some of our guys do. You already have that spot planned, so you're just like, all right, first spot. And then you do your whole chain wrestling spot. Communication. If you're hurt, tell your opponent, dude, I'm hurt. Guys with masks, this is way easier. No one can see your mouth move. Nothing wrong whatsoever. Nothing at all wrong. Getting a hold of your opponent and saying, dude, my fucking knee popped. We gotta go home. The one thing we as promoters will understand, and if your promoter doesn't understand, you need a different fucking promoter. If you're hurt, don't try to finish. And I don't mean hurt like, oh, I got a pain in my back. I mean like my knee popped, my ankle, I felt the snap. Like I can barely feel my foot or something moved. If you know you've injured yourself, go home. Even if you got to do the old school Stone Cold Steve Austin, and you broke my neck, we're going for the roll up. Doesn't matter. Yeah, like your shoulder, Donnie. If you're injured, fuck your opponent. It's not that hard. Fucking game up. Oh, my shoulder popped. Roll me up with a schoolboy. And then he drops out of this, drops to the ground, rolls me in a schoolboy. 1, 2, 3, he wins. I'll say this as a promoter and as a booker. Be very careful when you use this knowledge, but it exists. When it comes to your health, the finish is secondary. Let's just say for the sake of argument. Step back out on the match, gentlemen. Say for the sake of argument. Champion. Challenger. Challenger is supposed to win the title tonight. Challenger knows for a fact his ACL or his MCL just tore. Gets in the clinch. Dude, my knee is trash. You gotta take it. Boom. He hits his fucking finish, which has nothing to do with his opponent's knee, because his finish has nothing to do with his opponent's knee. I know, because I know their finishes. And then he stays champion. They get backstage. I walk right up to him. Why did you retain? And you say, I have nothing else to say on the matter. And if I am still mad at them for no reason, then I'm a dick. Because the fact of the matter is I can't have a champion who can't fight. He has to actually, defend his title. So if you know you're hurt, don't take the belt and then go get knee surgery. Be a man. You're like, look, this sucks. My knee's blown. You got to go over. Changing the finish in the case of an injury or a severe situation, it's paramount. It's important. Very important. Ending the match because you know something's gone wrong. For example, a couple of us have medical conditions. We start to feel lightheaded or something goes numb and we're losing anyway. We might whisper to the guy, dude, you got to pin me. I got to get the fuck out of here. And then boom, he pins me. I roll out of the ring. I stumble to the back. I take my heart meds. I take my insulin, whatever I have going on with me. I live. He still got his victory. Yeah, the match wasn't 12 minutes. It was 7 minutes. But at least I'm alive, which means I get to come back next time, make sure I'm a little better off, hydrate a little more beforehand, maybe take my inhaler if I'm having an asthma attack, maybe hit my inhaler right before I hit the ring. So maybe that doesn't happen. Maybe next time I do get a 12-minute match. And then that time I get my win back. Or I don't because he's supposed to beat me twice or whatever. Wins and losses don't matter, ladies and gentlemen. The crowd matters. It's about the crowd, all right? I have 12 world championships, not counting tag team championships, in a 15-year career. Whoopity do. I mean, they gave me a belt. Half the time it was a friggin' belt buckle or a ring. I mean, they're not that important. So don't ruin your future or fuck off the booker over a title, prop in professional wrestling. That's not okay. Yes, it's all about the show. All right, now, here's the thing. if you've ever lost what you do and clap your hands, I have. Sometimes in the middle of the match, you forget what the hell you're supposed to be doing. It's time for working holds. Here's the thing. Let's just say I just hit this dude with my big bad suplex. Fall down. Because everybody knows I got a stalling suplex and snap his spine in half. But now I'm gassed. Oh, God. Okay. Was that supposed to be where he took over? Or am I supposed to go for the false finish? I don't remember. So I get up. I come over. I grab him by his fucking hair and spin around because then you don't see it. I can't remember what we're doing. What do I do? Slap him on a fucking chin lock. And just work him. Where the fuck are we? And he's like, power slam spot. I'm like, all right, great. And then from there, I maybe roll him off, pick him up. I go to hit him. He power slams me. I power slam him, whatever the spot was. Working hold. That's one working hold. Great. Come on, join me. Here's another one. Lay down. A working hold. Real simple. You can do it from here. Boom, boom, boom. Where are we? Slow on a submission hold. Let's just say you're going over, right? My submission hold has to do with legs, so I'll do the leg thing. I roll him over. I slap on an STF. Now where am I? Next to his fucking head, right? Yeah, top motherfucker. Tap. Working holds. Such because they work the opponent and they work the crowd, which is what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be working the crowd. If I'm a bad guy, I'm taking this dude half my size and I'm stretching him when I've already dropped him. Boo! They're going to boo so loud they're not going to hear me any fucking way. Get up. All right. Let me see. Anything else we haven't covered? We don't have a lot of time, so I want to make sure I get everything as good as I can. Teamwork. What do you mean, Donnie? Teamwork. For those of you who don't know, Donnie's my training partner, so he's very helpful in the comments here. One thing, yes, remember you're in this together, all right? In kayfabe, you're opponents, but you both work for the same company. You're both getting paid. Well, not here because I don't pay guys, but you're both getting paid to do the job. So, oh yeah, it's all about teamwork. Okay, he was just using buzzwords on me. All right, let's just say, for the sake of argument, you don't have any working holds. You don't have any submission holds. Let's just say your maneuver is a Fujiwara armbar, but you don't know how else to work the arm. Or use a figure four, you don't know how to work the leg. All right? Guys with Matt, one of you lay down, one of you stand up, doesn't matter who. You'll be switching halfway through anyway. All right. All right. Go ahead and step in. All right. Working the leg. Couple things you can do. One, pick up his leg. One, you're standing. Yeah, there you go. Kick him in the back of the thigh. There you go. Work the leg. Reach up under his knee and basically just lift up his knee, a knee bar. Boom. You guys need to turn the other way. Go ahead, so he can see, so that the crowd can see. You're losing it. Yeah. Knee bar. Yeah. Put that. Yeah. There you go. Knee bar. There you go. You can do a single leg crab, which is where you turn over. Now, here's the thing, right? These aren't submission holds. No, they work part of the body, right? You're working the back. Real simple. Slide further this way. All right. Step out. Grab both of his legs the same way. Roll his ass over. Whoa. Ha ha. You do. Gotta be careful. I caught him. Don't worry. The Boston Crab works the legs, works the back. Just in case you're like, for example, I use power bomb when I'm a tag team wrestler. I use the jackhammer as a finish. I got to work the back. What do you do? Boston Crab or camel clutch. All right, let go. Which places? All right, so roll him over on his stomach.
Like the same way you did it.
No, just flip him up, like flip over. So you're working him from his guts. So go ahead, Mike, flip over. Camel clutch. Just sit on his back, grab underneath his chin, and stretch his ass. Simple camel clutch. Now, that's not the accolade. No one's going to expect him to tap out from that. But what's he doing? He's bending the back. He's working the neck. Exactly. All right. Stay there. Stay there. No. Working the arm. Let go of the head. Grab either arm. Pull it back. Tuck it under your arm. There you go. Work the arm. He's working the arm. He's working the arm. Let's just say your attack goes for the head. How do you work the head? Well, there's a fucking 1,000 ways to attack the head. You can kick the head, you can punch the head. But here's a good one for the working hold situation. Get on face down. Arms down, everything. Like he's got you. All right, now reach down, grab 2 handfuls of his hair, and throw his face into the mat a bunch of times. You can also communicate from here. Working the head. Look at that. What matters more than anything? All right. Yep. What matters more than anything? Whether you're working the knee, move. You can work a knee by just picking it up and dropping it. Or, literally, King Kong Bundy used to do this for his splash. Dude would just straight up stand on Hulk Hogan. Okay. And considering King Kong Bundy weighed 500 pounds, if he stood on you, that's working the back. For those of you who don't know, Hulk Hogan actually has Instagram and Twitter. Somebody asked him on one of them, why have you had 27 back surgeries? All he did was post a meme of King Kong Bundy standing on him. That's why I've had 27 back surgeries, because King Kong Bundy used to stand on me. You can work it from any angle. You can You can actually get creative with it, like step one arm back so he can't stop you, and put the other one back like this, and submission hold city. I can lock this bad boy in right here. I fall backwards, he taps instantaneously because that's an actual injury. Don't do that. But here's the thing. Get creative with it. If you don't want to do the same mundane shit, do what other people haven't done. See how I got his arms locked? Then I do the camel clutch like this. It looks wicked. All I did was put his arms at his side. But it looks great, doesn't it? And here I am sitting on his spine. Oh, I'm choking him to death. He's got a bigger Adam's apple than most people, folks. Really want, if you're a heel, don't pull the chin, pull the nose. Working the body is nothing more than finding a way to hurt that body part. Yeah, you can use the clover leaf. I'm actually fairly decent at clover leaves. Not as good as my partner once was. Not Donnie, my partner Miz. In the end, all of these things together end up being important. Communication, ring awareness, working. Too much dead air in a match is too much dead air in a match. You guys go ahead and work through a few reversals and candle losses. Go ahead and go. Just work your way through it without my instruction. See if you can get it down without me having to walk you through it while I have a conversation with our audience here. Here's the thing. At the end, they can boo, and that's fine. They can cheer. That's fine. Here's the thing. Booing, cheering, none of it actually matters. What matters is they're actually reacting. If they're booing you to death, okay, I guess you're the heel today. Even if you're a face, it just means that the heel's more popular than you. Maybe it's time to make a change. If you're good at getting people angry with you, maybe you don't need to be a face. Maybe you need to be a heel. But at the end of it all, the one thing you don't want, Macho Man said it best, I don't care if they boo me, I don't care if they cheer me. The worst thing for me would be if my music hits and I came out to dead silence. Because that means they don't even care enough about you to boo you, which is sad. This is one of the core principles of professional wrestling. That core principle being you and your opponent are working the crowd. That's what it's all about. Your job is to make the crowd believe what they're seeing in the ring is real, even though they already know it's on a script. They know it's scripted. Your job is to make them forget. Your job is to make them truly hate someone who in the back of their mind they know is actually probably a great guy, and those guys in the ring are probably going out for fucking tacos after the show's over. That's your job. Or to look sympathetic. If you're the face, your job is to make those people love you. And the heel's job is to get so much hate that the crowd has no choice but to love your opponent. Front to back, everything we're doing is for the asses in the seats. Anybody who tells you different is lying to you. We don't do this for ourselves. I mean, who would, of their own volition, go get into a knockdown, drag-out, choreographed fistfight for themselves? You don't. Do it for the crowd. You do it for them. It's an entertainment thing. It's the same reason. I mean, nobody goes and gets shot with squibs on a movie set for no reason. Like, they're not going to go through all the makeup and effects to never have an audience. They do it so that people will come and see the movie. We do this so people come and watch us punch each other in the face. And that's just what that is.
Yeah.
What?
That last piece of pizza.
Oh, yeah. Josh gave that to me. Anybody can have it. I don't give a shit.
Piece of pizza, Josh.
At the end of the day, when everything is said and done, everything we do is to protect each other while entertaining the crowd. Take care of your opponent will take care of you. If your opponent tells you, hey, settle down, means you're hitting them too hard or you're wrenching that arm too hard. You got to loosen up a little bit. If your opponent says, I'm hurt, we got to go home, go to the go home spot. If you know the go home spot is going to hurt them worse, come up with something else. Take a cheap roll up, the schoolboy. If you're the champ and you're retaining anyway, have them hit you one good time in the face and then walk out like a heel champ. Like, I don't need this. I'm out of here. And take the 10 count. It doesn't matter. Because if you're a heel champion anyway, walking out and screwing that guy out of his title by just getting a 10 count, they're going to despise you. And you just did exactly what you came to the ring to do. Make 500 people hate your guts. A lot of people, and I mean a lot of people, will point to organizations like the NWO and say they were great because everybody loved the NWO until you realize as a professional wrestler, the NWO actually failed miserably. I mean, it was successful monetarily wise, but in the grounds of the wrestling world, the NWO was terrible. Why? They were popular. They were the bad guys. Now, in the beginning, when people were throwing trash at them and shit, that was great. But then over 60% of the crowd is wearing NWO shirts and chanting along with Conan and Scott Hall. You guys aren't, believe it or not, that's probably why the Wolfpack, Scott Hall and Conan, became good guys. Because they realized it. So they, being smart wrestlers, made the change. All right, these Wolfpack guys, they're getting over. We have to become faces. Because they're cheering us. And then Hollywood Hogan and all them, they keep getting booed. That's the point. That's the job. In the end of the day, when it's all over and done with, you can learn to work holds, but you got to learn to work the crowd. You can get your shit in, but you got to be careful. Understand the opponent. Know what you're getting into. I know all of my opponents' major moves. I don't know a lot of their minor ones because a lot of these guys are students. And they haven't really flushed everything out yet, but they will. And in that time frame, we will learn each other's maneuvers. Everybody in my class, they know all of my major hits. They know my clothesline. They know my power bomb. They know my suplex. They know. So all I got to do is say suplex spot, and they know, okay, I'm going up for a couple of seconds. Or I say DDT spot, and they know they're catching that Jake Roberts faceplant DDT. Yeah, I know. It's because I don't have him working. But it's okay because this was the wrap up. I was actually done with them because he has to go to work. And this was just supposed to be a little refresher course. You guys can go back and watch this. It'll be on my YouTube page for a while. It'll take a little while to upgrade or to upload and whatnot. But once it's there, you'll be able to go over it. Watch how everybody transitions into everything. I would have done better quality, but the fact of the matter is that all I have is the webcam hooked up to this computer. So gotta do what you gotta do. At least we got some training in, which is what I wanted to do in the beginning. Keep working on yourselves until the quarantine's over. Everybody be safe. And until next time, if you can't be good at it.